we have Joe MacGillis, the creative director from Hearst, and myself. We'll be reviewing how we've collaborated for quite some time to develop and launch a high impact and high performing set of ad products. Awesome. Joe, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. So I know that we've known each other for, I feel like, a really long time now, and we've worked together for quite some time. But I would love for you to just talk a little bit about yourself, and your career progression. So if you could just tell everyone, what's the Joe MacGillis story?
I it's not that interesting, but I'll try to make it. I'm Joe MacGillis. I am actually the director of design at Hearst. So we are a full service creative collective. We're made up of a team of editors, photo directors, video producers, designers, talent bookers. We like to say that we craft and deliver the right solution to the right people at the right moment, fueling curiosity and inspiring action.
Awesome.
I started in design about 100 years ago, and bounced around the publishing world. I've worked for Hachette and Condé Nast, and I've landed at Hearst. I'm actually on my second tour at Hearst. So I've been here for about 10 years, working across all 25 titles, and working in video, print, social, and digital.
Awesome. So where did you start at Hearst? Did you start out just as designer, Joe?
I did start out in design. Hearst was a client of mine. This was back in the day when a lot of publishers were outsourcing their digital development. So I did a lot of their website design, development, and maintenance. And then when they brought all of that in-house, I came over.
Awesome. Super interesting. Can you dive into a little bit more about your role at Hearst currently?
Sure. As you know, we're made up of a team of many different skill sets, right? Like I said, editors, photo directors, video producers, designers, and I work across all of those teams. But my main focus these days are in design and development. So I have a team of about 10 product and interactive designers. And our day-to-day is focused on interactive storytelling. We work across platforms. We use our in-house CMS, a handful of different applications, and a lot of Celtra.
Awesome. Yes. And I know that we'll dive into how we integrate with your in-house CMS with Celtra specifically, because I know that that was a big piece of our relationship as well.
Totally.
Okay, awesome. So now diving into just a little bit about like Hearst in general, and your ad strategy, would you be able to tell us a little bit further about who your target audience is, and how do you tailor your creative content to meet these preferences, since you guys are across such a wide suite of platforms and sites?
Totally. It's a bit of an open-ended question when it comes to Hearst. We're the world's largest lifestyle media publisher. So we reach about 580 million people. We like to say we help make marketers make meaningful connections to our consumers around all things that they care about. So when you're talking about 25 different titles and an audience that spans the globe, your target is pretty much everybody, right? Our readers' interests cover auto, beauty, fashion, food, finance, outdoor enthusiasts, tech, travel, and home. So it's a lot. And how we tailor to that audience is pretty involved, but the basic of it is built around pretty normal stuff. We utilize data. We use a lot of editorial driven insights, and some pretty sophisticated targeting.
Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, especially like the multitude of teams that you must work across and touch across Hearst must be a lot more than I can wrap my head around. Um, so could you maybe talk a little bit about the importance and the structure of the creative team at Hearst and how you continue to collaborate across all of these different departments,
Sure.
while also keeping like the same voice for Hearst?
Well, of course. And what I think is really unique at Hearst is how we use your platform. So kind of, if I can start with that, it gets into a little bit about the teams. So when we first teamed up with Celtra, our product team built out concepts for high impact storytelling units unique to Hearst. And so we focused on a deep understanding of what motivates our audience across platform. Uh, then we target the right ad experience to the right person at the right time. Um, and the ads worked great, right? But as you know, we're also a custom content provider. So we're building out all these long form stories, across newspapers, across, websites, across television. And over time, we became frustrated with the limited features of our in house CMS. So, what we did is we started to hack into your platform a little bit deeper. Our goal was to see how we could break out of the ad container to offer the same type of experience uh, in our native content integration. Um, uh, 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 so, we worked with you to help getting around the ad blockers, right? Which was like which was a pretty big deal, at the time. And We worked with you to get around these ad blockers, so we could iframe the interactivity inside of the articles that we were producing for clients. So, like games, quizzes, timelines, reactive creative. And it opened up a whole new doorway of how we could tell stories and how our readers consumed them. Um, we didn't need to invest into hardcore developer skills within Hearst Made. We leveraged the work that you guys had already done and it adapted it and applied that logic and that work to our sites. And what was cool is over time, our editorial teams started to notice all these crazy custom articles that we were working on, and they wanted to do the same thing, and we're also kind of frustrated with the limitations of the CMS. So we did a big global campaign. We got them up to speed on the platform, and now Celtra is used in storytelling beyond paid, like beyond ads. It's become part of our organic or editorial offering. Something that grew out of ad sales became a major editorial player, and you don't always see that. And I think that really shows how we work across a multitude of talents.
Yeah, it's really awesome how you guys like kind of looked into Celtra as a different way to leverage us in these interactive experiences and the content in terms of getting the editorial teams on board. And a lot of your executions are really unique and exciting to see. So we love that you guys have made outside of the ads, right? This is a new way that we've never seen people leverage Celtra. So it's been really exciting to work with you guys and help you guys grow in that space for sure.
Yeah, it's been super exciting for us too. And and like I said, we're 25 titles, we're global. So, getting the Italian team or the Japan team into Celtra and teaching them how to kind of break it and make it work in content has been it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very powerful tool. Once you guys play around, how you guys have made it super powerful for sure.
For sure.
While we're on just in terms of like your ad strategy and workflow, um, how do you guys define your ad products and how do we like measure their success as well?
Well, we define ad products as creative that meets full funnel objectives, that follows a premium placement and offers a range of storytelling capabilities that inspire and educate or drive action, uh, and live within the right context of the page. This philosophy applies not only to display, but into all content that we produce for our audience. Um, the definition of success is a little bit more abstract. Uh, Most of what we offer is highly interactive. Uh, we also try to expose brands to our audience in a safe and trusted environment, i.e., our sites. So engagements are what we go after. It's our bread and butter. So what we really look at is time spent, questions answered, slides viewed. The longer the user stays engaged, the more successful the product.
Awesome. Yeah. So you guys are providing a lot of insights back to your clients when you do the wrap up reports and making
Yes.
sure it's as engaging as possible.
We're also addressing that in the pre-sale, so how we go to market might be a little bit different. They're investing in us in something that's highly engaging and highly exposing. So we want to make sure that the information that we're providing back to them uh, has reason behind it, and they understand that reason.
Yeah, for sure. Um, can you describe, you don't have to go into a lot of detail. I know I'm asking a lot here, but can you kind of describe the ideation to execution for an ad product?
Sure, like I heard once that you can't open the full kimono, right? But I can give you a top line of how we do it. We put a lot of our focus on, and we're lucky in this way, on editorial trends. If we see something is performing in organic context, we dive in, we analyze it, we ask why the users are responding, and how we can replicate it. So our editors provide the pulse, product does the deep dive, analytics provides the detail, design handles the user experience, and marketing tells the story. Like most people, we work in sprints, but we're always trying to identify new trends. We throw a lot of things at the wall, and some stick, and a ton don't. Um, you know, it's a back and forth, and I think that's what helps in keeping things exciting and keeping us relevant.
Totally. And I think it's really nice that you guys have the space to be able, like in the room, to throw things at the wall and see what's really working and what's not working. Like the interactive content, for example, like that might not have worked, but it definitely worked for you guys. And it's nice that you guys have the space as an organization to be able to play around like that, especially for a design team.
For sure, we're super lucky, and it's I think it's what keeps most of us here, is that excitement.
For sure. Um, Off of that, in general, in terms of your ad products, would you be able to discuss how and why you guys have been so effective at selling these high impact units? Um, I'm not going to ask you about your secret sauce, but compared to other players in this space, what makes you like a like what's your differentiator, I would say?
Um, well, a lot of what we've talked about plays into our success. Our success. Uh, what we talked about earlier with the amount of different creative types that are involved across organization. Um, it's a cross pollination of thinking and access to resources. We have a great access to resource. We have 100+ years of being innovators in media. Um, we have the ability to study data. Um, we have editorial responsibilities, um, and we're able to open some doorways. Um, all of these things make up the secret sauce, if you will. Um, that combined with a great deal of creative freedom. Um, we're encouraged to knock things around, to build great things up and then tear them down until we get it right. I think we take a lot of risk, and I think that's something you have to be willing to do. And I think when you get it right and take it to market, it's recognized.
Yes, I love that. Definitely taking risks for sure. And like we said, like having the space to do that, as you mentioned, is huge. Um, in terms of what you guys are pursuing in this space, is there anything different or special, like more premium inventory, for example?
A lot of stuff's going on with inventory, right? And how we reach and target. And we've recently launched a new targeting tool called Aura, which we're saying is the next generation first party targeting. It's a tool that utilizes first party reader data, uh, multi layered content, and commerce signals, and a proprietary AI enables segmentation for future proof accessibility, reach, and accuracy. So Aura is built on the foundation of trusted editorial content and Hearst proprietary data. It surpasses the scale and performance of third-party audience targeting with 100% of authenticity on devices and browsers. What Aura does is it paints a more layered picture of what our readers care about, and it predicts audiences for clients that they may not have realized were relevant for their brand. For example, through contextual and behavioral signals, we can derive that a pet food shopper visiting one of our sites also happens to be a hardcore trail runner and a family vacation planner. So this is something new that we're doing, and how we're going to market with our detailed inventory.
Wow. Yeah, AI is taking over for
And it's
sure.
proprietary AI, so the way that we're using it's not super scary. It's actually pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's super interesting, all of it. Um, in terms of the inventory, where does it fit into your broader monetization strategy? Do you see it stable? Is it shrinking? Is it growing?
I mean, it's stable, but we definitely have a big push to grow.
Okay.
We're trying to grow our organic inventory in a lot of different ways.
Has the focus of Hearst shifted from these premium high impact units to automated native programmatic experiences?
Now we remain highly focused on offering, industry leading solutions that capture attention of our vast audience. So premium high impact is where we are.
For sure. It's not going anywhere.
No, not at
Awesome.
all. It's being pushed more, if anything.
Definitely. And where do you see your ad product business continuing to grow from?
We're throwing a lot of new ad interactivity products out to market right now, and doing some live testing. We're mixing brand messaging with editorial voice, which is something we're really lucky to be able to do. We're pushing engagement, and mixing these custom builds with intelligent targeting, and that seems to be what our clients are looking for.
Awesome. Awesome. And in terms of like different channels, are there certain like digital platforms that are the most effective for your campaigns right now?
you know, we see a little, we see a good bit of success across all our platforms. That said, we have a very engaged social audience, and if done in the right voice, and if we're offering something that's of interest of the user, um, in the right environment, we see really great engagement across our social platforms.
And is there any different ways that you guys decide which content goes onto each platform?
Each audience is unique. And our voice needs to shift and adapt depending on the platform. But the decision is definitely fueled by insight, uh,
Mhm.
and client need.
For sure. Okay, so we're getting like 5 minutes left of our session. And I really want to dive into like what's the future, right, of Hearst and the ad tech industry in general. Um, so do you think you'd be able to chat a little bit about the most important challenge that you see is affecting the ad tech ecosystem and industry right now?
Sure, I know we're limited on time, so I can kind of top line it. I think there's a lot going on. The two major ones that we're really looking at are privacy concerns and regulations. Um, Implementing and complying with regulations like GDPR or CCPA, ensuring user data privacy and consent is managed, and cookies, right? So the adaptation of phasing out that third party cookies from major browsers, and the development of alternative tracking and targeting methods like we talked about with Aura.
In terms of these two major issues, so cookie deprivation and privacy concerns, how do they impact you at Hearst specifically?
Hearst is addressing cookie deprivation by implementing strategies that don't rely on third-party cookies, right? So we're building our own methods of audience. We're doing it through contextual targeting, leveraging the context of where an ad appears to ensure relevance to the audience without needing individual tracking. First party data utilization, collecting and using data uh, directly from our own platforms to understand our target audience better. Um, uh, you know, Authorization, encouraging users to log in. We have a lot of paywalls on our content. So logging in is important. Collaborations and partnerships, partnering with other companies to share insights. Um, uh, Innovative technologies, exploring alternatives like machine learning models or artificial intelligence to predict and analyze user behavior without cookies. Um, it's these strategies that help maintain an effective ad targeting and personalization, uh, while adhering to all of these new regulations.
do you, in terms of all of these things that are coming through, do you have any predictions on the future of this? Anything that you think might be coming for these challenges we're facing as an industry as a whole?
I mean, I just make things look pretty. So my predictions are not worth the sand they're written in. But I think we'll need to continue down this privacy path a lot, and we'll need to be more mindful as we develop and take new things to market. I think privacy is our new reality.
Yep, for sure. Um, and I guess just my last question, I like to end it with this, but is there anywhere you would like to see further innovation and investment in Celtra specifically in the platform?
Yeah, well, first, obviously we love the tool. We love going in and messing with it and playing with it and really getting our hands dirty. I think yeah, the development that you've done is pretty amazing, and we've been able to stand on your shoulders, if you will, in a lot of ways. But I would like to see more flexibility and adaptation. I'd love to see the tool expand beyond just an ad builder, so it could be more seamlessly used across different platforms, like we're doing. It's a really helpful tool, especially for people that have some knowledge of code and development, but not vast. It's really allowed those designers and developers to take it to the next level. So thank you for
Awesome.
all your hard work, and maybe you could take a cue from how we're doing it.
Yes, for sure. Our product team's on the line, so they're making note of this, Joe. Awesome. But seriously, thank you so much for joining today. Always a pleasure to have you and speak with you.